King with Spark on the Street, where we interview growth-minded business leaders and entrepreneurs and learn their keys to success. Tell us your name and a little bit about your business.
My name's John De Lorenzo. I'm with Desert Pearl Mushrooms. We're a locally owned and operated mushroom farm here in Tucson, Arizona, and we produce culinary mushrooms for the local Tucson market.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. So tell me a little bit about it. Like, what type of mushrooms do you guys grow?
Well, we grow a variety of oyster mushrooms as well as some other specialty varieties like lion's mane, chestnut, pepino, shiitake, a number of others that we cycle through from time to time.
Wow, that's awesome. I feel like I can learn a lot because I'm not really in the mushroom world. Like I eat mushrooms, but I don't ever know what type of mushrooms I'm eating. You know what I mean? So that's awesome. Yeah, and I've heard people use them as like supplements and different things like that. So super cool. What inspired you to start the business?
Well, we're actually an alumni startup. My business partners and I, we all attended the University of Arizona, and we were more focused on aquaponics and greenhouse grow. I studied chemistry. My partner Chris studied mechanical engineering. We've got another partner, Jorge Sepulveda, who was a controlled environmental agriculturalist. And really, we were operating a greenhouse out of Jorge's backyard, and we were looking for a way to boost carbon dioxide in the greenhouse. And mushrooms came up as a suggestion, and got into cultivating mushrooms and found out we could sell it and make a little bit of a profit. So we focused more and more on mushrooms and slowly phased out some of the other crops that we were working on at the time.
Wow. Okay, so there are three of you that own the business.
Yes, yeah, myself, John De Lorenzo. I focus more on like the administration side of the business and retail sales. My partner Chris, he's more in production, and so is Jorge. But Chris also handles the business-to-business sales.
That's awesome. Yeah, everyone has their part, I think, when you do a partnership. Like everyone, you take that person's strengths and you kind of let them run with it, and the business runs pretty smoothly from there. Well, that's so fun. College friends that had a hobby and then it turned into a business. What is cooler than that? What do your customers gain by interacting with your company? Obviously, they get mushrooms, but what are they gaining?
Right now, we're at such a small phase of development in our company that we get to interact with a lot of our retail customers who give us direct feedback, our restaurateur customers who put in requests and changes, and they want certain specifications met. So that's really encouraged us to grow and focus on finer details. So really, I would say it's tailoring mushrooms and our product lineup to what consumers want, what our restaurant clientele needs, local grocers and distributors, what they're looking for. We can address those demands a little faster than maybe what they would search for on their own.
That's great. So it sounds like you read the market and then you react and you give the market what they want and you problem solve. So that's an amazing thing that entrepreneurs do when they start a business. Is they're looking for a gap in the market. What do people need? What do restaurants need? How can I serve? And then you deliver. So that's great. What makes Desert Pearl mushrooms stand out?
Well, we really focus on mushroom growing technologies. So our company is currently in development of some low water use agricultural techniques and systems that my partner Chris, he's a mechanical engineer, I'm a chemist. We try to focus more on like the production technology that can launch our business into future phases of growth. So what we're doing differently, I would say, we're a member of the University of Arizona's Center for Innovation Incubator Program. So part of our long-term growth plans include self-sustained agricultural, techniques and practices built into our environmental controls, lighting, temperature, humidity, all under controlled environmental agriculture and constant monitoring of inputs and outputs. Contrast that with ages-old mushroom production of your basic portobello, cremini, white button top mushrooms. Those are field substrates like soil, fertilizer. You kind of just let them do their own thing in the dark. the mushrooms that we grow, we focus on things that really need a fine-tuned environment with lighting levels, color spectra, water levels, humidity, temperature, um, even substrate selection. We vary up our mushroom growing substrate depending on the variety. So we take a lot of care into the details like that.
That's great. I do think it's definitely important to be detail oriented, and it looks like you guys are using your knowledge and skill for good. That leads me to my next question. What are your plans for long term growth?
Well, eventually we'd like to fine tune our whole process here to fit into a smaller, more concise footprint. So we'd eventually like to build our own facility. Right now we rent out this beautiful industrial warehouse space. It's almost a co-working space that we share with other startups, and we're kind of figuring out what sort of square footage we need, what sort of power requirements, what water. We're trying to really minimize the amount of water usage that our company takes to produce our mushrooms. So long term, I think what we want to do is produce a set of blueprints that we can follow to recreate this with minimal waste and minimal R&D for maybe a future business owner or a satellite farmer to be able to produce mushrooms, specialty mushrooms. And if you consider, Tucson, Arizona has maybe 300 days of sunlight a year, so that's 2 months of rain. We're producing mushrooms that typically require a lot of water, but we're doing it here in the desert. So we're constantly trying to revise our long-term growth plans, but I think it's centered around the mushroom tech and furthering that and our current state of technology for producing these mushrooms in a dry, arid, hot environment.
Wow, that's super eye opening. All it takes behind the scenes just to grow mushrooms. Like, there's so much that goes into it. So, I really, I applaud you for what you do because people don't even realize how much it takes. They just enjoy the product at the end, you know? So, yeah, well, best of luck to you to, expand and get your own place and figure out what the mushrooms need so you can continue to provide specialty mushrooms to the community. Are you aligned with any trends in the market right now?
Yeah, if you're on social media for 10 minutes or more in this industry, you'll eventually get targeted with an advertisement for some holistic or naturopathic supplement product. And I want to say that we have been developing our own line of mushroom supplements, powdered tinctures, extracts, but we've also been contacted by a couple of custom beverage producers. So we're hoping to enter the mushroom tea, mushroom coffee space. So there are a couple of opportunities that we could introduce our brand of mushrooms into. So
Right, because obviously you have a great product, but it's all about how you market it. And I think there's a bunch of ways to ingest mushrooms. So as long as you're like following the trends and what you think, what you see everyone else doing, I think that's a really good path for sure. Because you don't want to change what you're already doing, just adjust and pivot to the needs of your market. So cool, 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 cool. All right, last question. Is there anything else that you think that your audience should know about you or your business?
Um, I'd say that a lot of folks around Tucson may not know that specialty gourmet mushrooms kind of are constrained to a certain distribution radius. So I would encourage viewers to, if they go out and they like mushrooms, maybe ask their local restaurateurs to include more varieties of mushrooms. Eventually, that demand will come back to our farm, and hopefully, we can produce mushrooms. We satisfy a good number of gourmet restaurants around Tucson, local grocers. We're in a few CSAs, and we're trying to onboard with our second distributor. So if you see cool mushroom recipes or even vegan, vegetarian, or you're an omnivore who likes mushrooms, ask for more mushroom dishes and we can provide some really cool things. Lion's mane for one. I enjoy it. I eat meat and vegetables, but, I've got some vegan friends who've shown me some recipes where you can make vegan crab cakes using our mushrooms. Yeah, those are really delicious. Lion's mane, if you've ever seen one, it's kind of it's got these spines instead of caps, and you pull it apart finely, and that produces a crab meat-like texture, or you can squeeze it and cook it. It's like pulled pork. Our black king oyster mushrooms, which I think I've got some behind me, you can use those to simulate boneless meat ribs. A bunch of different culinary uses for mushrooms exist, and I think customers can enjoy a lot more variety in their food, especially Tucson being a major culinary destination. Just have a chat with your local restaurateur. Ask for more mushrooms.
Yes, let's do what we can to support Desert Pearl Mushrooms here in Tucson, Arizona. Thank you so much, John, for your time and enlightening us about Desert Pearl Mushrooms and sharing your insights on how you grew your business. Thank you guys so much again for watching Spark on the Street, brought to you by Spark Partners, who develop leaders who want to create lasting business success. To find out more, you can go to our website at sparkpartners.com, and you can expect weekly episodes of Spark on the Street from us. And again, I am your host, Sydney King, and we will see you next time.